Good evening, Belize. It's Tuesday and you're tuned into News 5. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. Tonight we begin with heartbreak in the South. A tragic accident in Bea Vista claims the lives of two young sisters after they fall into an uncovered septic pit. Also making headlines, tensions rise in the public transportation sector as the Bus Association accuses the transport minister of playing politics. Minister Kareem Musa is under fire as backlash builds over the controversial 13th Amendment. And feathers are flying, literally and figuratively, as Miss Universe Belize costume designs stirs controversy over whether national pride is being overshadowed by artificial intelligence. Plus, a spike in dengue cases has health officials sounding the alarm. KHMH is urging Belizeans to act fast and stay safe. These stories and more are coming your way in the next 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere. News 5 starts now. Welcome back. We begin tonight with heartbreaking news out of Bea Vista village in the Toledo district. A family is grappling with unimaginable loss after two young sisters, just 7 and 8 years old, tragically drowned in an open septic pit on a private property. Angie and Laurie Pimentel were sent on a simple errand to their grandmother's house, but they never made it back. What followed was a frantic search that ended in devastation. News 5's Tanya Arceo traveled south this morning and brings the following story.
It was just 4 o'clock on Monday afternoon when tragedy struck in Bea Vista village. 7-year-old Laurie and 8-year-old Angie Pimentel were sent on a quick errand to their grandmother's house nearby, but they never made it back. As minutes turned into panic, their mother, Delmi Argueta, began searching. What she found was every parent's worst nightmare. Her daughters had drowned in an open septic pit.
Yo las mandé a hacer un mandado.
I sent them on an errand to my mother's house, but they didn't go there. Instead, they went to the pit and hid their bicycles. One of them took off her clothes, perhaps to take a bath in secret. I don't know what happened to the other one, but when my mother found the bicycles, she called me. I went and jumped into the pool and pulled out the first one, and then I found the other one. After about half an hour, when they hadn't come back, I sent someone to look for them and called my mom to see if they had arrived there, and she told me she hadn't seen them. They went out to look at the house that was being built and found the bicycles hidden inside. They found the youngest girl's clothes.
The girls were supposed to be heading to their grandmother's house, but they never made it inside. Instead, they wandered near a construction site where an open septic pit sat uncovered. Their grandmother, Ligia Contreras, knew something was wrong when she spotted one of the girls' slippers nearby. Her heart sank and her worst fears were confirmed.
I found a stick and I stuck it in there. I felt like there was something in there. And I called out to her to hurry up because they had fallen into the well. When I saw the bicycles were inside that house, I saw the little slippers and her little clothes. So I quickly grabbed a stick and started poking around. And that's where I felt that something was inside.
We spoke with the girl's father at the cemetery. He is still trying to come to terms with the unimaginable loss. He says this tragedy should be a wake-up call. More needs to be done to prevent accidents like this, and he's urging property owners to take responsibility when digging dangerous pits. Leaving them uncovered, he says, is a risk no family should have to face.
I have something to say. When we have a construction project, please, as I tell many people, even if an old man is drunk, when he opens his pit, he closes it with anything. Other people just open the pits and leave them there. When my wife called me while I was working, she said, "Selvin, something terrible has happened." "What happened?" I asked her. "Angie and Laurie drowned," she said. "Don't joke like that," I told her. A little while ago, the property owner where the pit is left me 4 bars of steel. I told him, "I don't need them." Do you think 4 bars of steel are worth a daughter's life? Of course not.
We attempted to contact the owners of the property, but were not successful. Tania Arceo, News 5.
Another member of the Espat family is behind bars tonight, and this time it's 28-year-old Karim Nazim Espat, who's been remanded to the Belize Central Prison after being accused of gang involvement. Espat, along with 27-year-old Brian Anthony Correa, both from the DFC area of San Pedro, was brought to the Belize City Magistrates Court this afternoon to face a single charge each of being a member of a gang. They appeared before Magistrate Ludlow Black just after 2 p.m. And while both men pleaded not guilty, the charge falls under Section 16 of the Crime Control and Criminal Justice Act, which means the magistrate couldn't offer bail. They have to apply to the High Court if they want a shot at release. Espat was represented by attorney David McCoy, who raised concerns about how his client was treated while in police custody. McCoy told the court that Espat was allegedly denied food while detained in San Pedro, even when his family brought meals for him. Both men are due back in court on September 18th in San Pedro. And this isn't an isolated case. Just yesterday, 2 other island residents, Alexander and Mark Anthony Logan, were also charged with gang membership. Like Espat and Correa, they pleaded not guilty and are expected back in court on September 24th. The Belizean Bus Association is calling out Minister of Transport, Dr. Louis Zabane, accusing him of playing politics and acting in bad faith. At the heart of the controversy is the newly formed Pro Temp Advisory Committee for the National Bus Company. One of its members, Oswin Blees, owner of Fui Transport, was appointed to represent bus operators. Here's where things get interesting. The BBA says Blees isn't one of them. In fact, they claim he's a newcomer with little experience and a strong political affiliation to the ruling party. So is this a strategic move to sideline the BBA's voice? We put that question directly to Minister Zabane today.
What happened in the past couple of weeks is that we've been getting quite a number of bus operators coming in to sign on to this phase of the process that will see their operations audited by professional auditors that they themselves chose from a subcommittee that the larger group chose. So we then decided that we would form a advisory committee of the same stakeholders we've been talking with over the past 2 months or so. We have already published the lists of the members of that committee, and that would include the unions represented by the National Trade Union Congress of Belize. We have membership from other government entities that would be helpful to us, like MIDH, Ministry of Economic Transformation, the Statistical Institute of Belize. And so we wanted to make sure that we have quite a bit of professional input and continued communication from the University of Belize as well, who are on that committee. Mr. Oswin Belize was chosen as one of the members of the operators who signed on to be the person with that perspective of the operators on the committee. So then we saw this press release from the BAA, the Belize Bus Association, the BBA, with respect to that choice. So that's an unfortunate interpretation from their end. It was in no way for us to purposely, as they would say, that I would interpret what they're saying, disrespect them in any way.
Minister Louis Zabane is standing by his pick. He says Oswin Belize brings a lot to the table in terms of experience. But when we asked if Belize is actually a member of the Belizean Bus Association, the minister's answer was, well, a bit fuzzy. He said, technically, yes. We also pressed him on whether the BBA had any say in choosing who would represent bus operators on the advisory committee. Here's what he told us.
Mr. Belize brings a wealth of experience in the bus business. He's a smaller operator. He has been to all the consultations. And so we feel that he is going, will be instrumental in bringing that perspective to the process. And that is how we came about choosing him.
Is Mr. Belize a member of the Belize Bus Owners Association?
I guess he is an operator. He's a listed operator. And if they claim that all the operators are members of the BBA, then I guess he is. The fact is that at all of our meetings, the beginning of May and the end of May that we held with all the operators, Mr. Belize was there among them and was a vocal participant in those meetings, expressing his views, some views critical and some views supporting the process. So I feel very comfortable that he will bring to bear good judgment and good guidance to the process.
Did the association's executive, whether it's the president or the vice president, have any say or input in Mr. Belize's appointment?
No, it's an advisory committee to my ministry, and I made the final choice of who I felt would be there to support us and to bring something to the table. So, for example, Mr. Shah, who is the president, is somebody who we interact with regularly. Mr. Shah expressed that he's on the fence with respect to his decision. And so we're waiting for his determination.
BBA maintains that there is a clear desire to prevent equity and transparency in the process. News 5 reached out to the Ministry of Public Service with a Freedom of Information request, asking for a full list of government rental spaces from June 2024 to 2025. We also wanted to know who's collecting rent from the government, specifically the names of all landlords with active contracts. And the ministry responded with a list that's nothing short of eye-opening. A total of 116 rental spaces across the country, complete with locations and landlord names. Interestingly, some landlords show up more than once, which raises questions about who's really benefiting from these deals. But here's where things get murky. When we asked for copies of the actual tenancy agreements, the ministry said no. Their reason? The Attorney General's ministry advised against it, claiming the contracts are exempt from public disclosure. They even referenced former Prime Minister Dean Barrow's past comments defending that position. The ministry also argued that revealing rental costs could drive up prices, putting more pressure on the national budget. Coming up, Minister of Home Affairs defends 13th Amendment. More when we return.
This summer, your Wednesdays just got better. Join your Belize City Council for the Midweek Wine Down series. A new relaxing evening of wine, cheese, live jazz, and spoken word. It's your midweek escape happening Wednesday, July 30th at City Hall Square on Regent and Albert Streets from 5:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. Bring your friends, sip, connect, and unwind in the heart of downtown Belize City. Want to be a part of the action? Secure your booth space by calling the Public Relations Department at 280-2308, extension 238, or WhatsApp at 637-9055. Let's unwind together. Your Belize City Council. Always vote the people.
Miss the ultimate singing showdown. It's KTV The Remix Season 7 every Tuesday night at 8, live from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. One stage, one voice, one chance to win $10,000. Get your tickets for just $5 at GVM Studios and Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. It's music, talent, and entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss it. KTV The Remix Season 7. Tune in, turn up, and sing along every Tuesday night at 8. Only on Greater Belize Media.
Ignite the innovator in you with Dell. Cellular World is an authorized partner for Dell Technologies. Whether you're looking for equipment for personal use or to transform your business, Dell Technologies can provide you with the right equipment to suit your needs. Dell is more than just desktop computers and laptops. The full line also includes monitors, data storage solutions, keyboards, docking stations, and other accessories. This is technology that makes it possible and provides solutions for every situation. Shop for your Dell products at Cellular World, your #1 Dell authorized partner in Belize, and get all the technology you want for less. Bring your brightest ideas to life with intelligent technology. Cellular World, authorized Dell partner.
Is your classroom in need of a transformation? Benny's B-Box is giving one lucky teacher the ultimate classroom transformation experience. Just fill out the Google Forms on our Facebook and Instagram pages. Be sure to tag and share #Benny's Classroom Makeover. But don't wait, submissions end July 31st, 2025. Visit our social media pages for more info. Don't miss your chance to get back to school ready with Benny's and B-Box.
Oh man, one more stroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data, so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa and Attorney General Anthony Sylvester appeared on Open Your Eyes this morning, diving deep into the proposed constitutional change that's stirring controversy across the country. Minister Musa says the 13th Amendment isn't introducing anything new. It's simply giving constitutional backing to a law that's been on the books since 1993. He argues that while critics fear government overreach, the amendment actually adds more oversight than current emergency powers. Still, not everyone's convinced. With public resistance growing, will this move strengthen public safety or weaken civil liberties?
So since 2018 to present, both governments, successive governments, have been utilizing the state of emergency as a life-saving tool, because essentially that is what it has become. When crime and violence among feuding gangs becomes so intense that there is constant retaliation among these groups, and that oftentimes leads to the loss of innocent lives in Belize, not just gang members, because there is this school of thought that says let gang members kill themselves out.
They have collateral damage.
There is collateral damage, and just in this year alone, think of Mr. Avelar, who died right here on Coney Drive outside your news station.
Yep.
Think of the young man Orozco on Ebony Street who was just taking his child to school.
Yep.
Innocent lives, you know. Think of Miss Jones and her handicapped son. Those are 4 lives lost in just this year as, like you described, collateral damage. So the question is, what do you do when you have this kind of escalation in violence that leads to, yes, the loss of gang member lives, but also the loss of law-abiding citizens' lives? That is why we're saying we need to have a legislation that can counter this, because, as you and I know, Isani and Sabrina, in the streets there is a code. If I kill Isani, Isani's family will not say it's me, even if they witness it. They will take out the retaliation themselves. There is a street and a gang code that we have to recognize.
Minister Musa broke it down like this. The proposed 13th Amendment is all about clearing up confusion around the current state of emergency laws in the Constitution. To do that, the government is leaning on parts of the existing Crime Control and Criminal Justice Act, specifically the section that talks about creating what they call special areas. But here's the key part. Minister Musa says the amendment also adds an extra layer of oversight. That means stricter checks and balances before any area can be declared special under a state of emergency.
We are fleshing out the state of emergency into the Constitution, but fleshing it out in a way that you're saying specifically. Because the state of emergency is only for public safety. It's very vague. Now you think of natural disasters and the looting that happens in natural disaster, and you might say, well, maybe that's what the framers of the Constitution wanted, for us to have legislation that addressed that. We are saying now in 2025, as was recognized in 1993, that we need to flesh it out more to say this is a crime-fighting, life-saving tool that we want to keep in our toolbox as a measure of last resort. Not something to be used every single day, but rather something to say, listen, this is getting out of control. The public is not participating, not giving statements, not getting evidence. We need to hit the pause button. It's not just the minister, it's not just the prime minister, it's not just the commissioner of police that gets to decide this anymore under this law. It is an entire National Security Council made up of the military, made up of the Coast Guard, made up of foreign affairs, immigration. All of these parties who belong to the National Security Council must now listen to the report from the police and say whether it is justifiable that we now call an area a special area for 1 month. Similar provision to the state of emergency, now with greater oversight.
One of the proposed legislations in the 13th Amendment is the establishment of a gun and gang court. So how will this specialized court assist in combat gun violence and gang warfare? We asked Attorney General Anthony Sylvester this morning. Here's his response.
As things currently stand, matters are being dealt with in the magistrate's court. The plan is, and the idea is, to have these be dealt with in a specialized gang and gun court. Now, in magistrate's court, the magistrates deal with all types of matters, traffic matters, and all other types of matters, including civil matters. So what you have happening is that a case may have started in January, but it's not completed through no fault of the magistracy until perhaps maybe a year, within a year, because it's adjourned for a number of times. The idea is to remove that and to have these cases be dealt with as somewhat similar to in the High Court, which is why the amendment is to have the court have the powers of both a magistrate and a High Court judge. And so, and again, with respect to a specialized court, and it's nothing new in Belize having specialized courts. In other countries we have specialized courts who deal with family matters, revenue matters, administrative estate matters, whatever. So the idea is to similarly have a specialized court. They deal strictly with gun and gang matters, and that will allow for expedited hearing.
The government says it's not just making changes for change's sake. In defending the 13th Amendment, Attorney General Anthony Sylvester pointed to a real-world example, Trinidad and Tobago's recent use of its state of emergency laws. According to the AG, Belize's proposed legislation goes a step further. He says it strikes a better balance, protecting the rights of citizens while still giving the government the tools it needs to act in the public's interest. So how exactly does it work?
It's a necessary and important tool that the state must have. I mean, recent events in Trinidad. So the current government, I think it's only two months since in its administration, and it had to implement a state of emergency that it was critical of the previous administration. So what this certainly to me shows is that it is an important tool that a state needs, and comments, criticism, critiques may be made, but ultimately it has to, and it's necessary, where it's justifiable and upon reasonable suspicion, and those mechanisms that have been inbuilt in the 13th Amendment, as we say, it actually is not there in the current SOE regime in the Constitution. So it's actually an enhanced and improved way in which addressing crime, detecting, investigating, and controlling crime would be able to be done in a balanced way, both in terms of the citizens' rights and in the public interest for the general citizenry.
Last week, we followed up on Aaron Guzman's $70,000 advisory contract with the Ministry of Home Affairs and New Growth Industries, a deal that raised more than a few eyebrows. Well, there's an update. Today, Minister Karim Musa told us that Guzman's contract likely won't be renewed when it expires in February 2026. Guzman's role is to advise on policing and economic growth. But with that kind of paycheck, we're still asking, was this hire really necessary? We put that to Minister Musa earlier today.
We found it necessary, Isani, like I had mentioned on the last occasion. There is great value coming out of Mr. Guzman. It was a recommendation from the former Commissioner of Police. He actually wanted Mr. Guzman to be attached to the police department as opposed to the ministry. But we saw where it would have been a better fit in terms of providing guidance and counsel to our ministry in his duties as a special advisor. And so there was a lot of work that is still left unfinished that he required an additional year to finish up. He has assisted in identifying countrywide repairs to police stations that were necessary. He assisted in retirees in clearing the backlog of all the pensions and retirement benefits for retirees. There's such a huge backlog, and he has worked well there. He's working on our animal welfare bill, and so these are things that are going to be tied up in the coming months, and his contract expires in February of next year. And so we don't foresee the need to hire him for an additional year next year, but certainly his contribution has been invaluable and perhaps raises the discussion of whether age 55 is really the age that we should look at as the retirement age, because there's so much that he still has to offer.
After the break, culture versus crisis, a journey into Maya farming traditions. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
Zika alert. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. The Ministry of Health reminds the public that as we enter the rainy season, be aware of the dangers of dengue, chikungunya, and Zika. These are infectious diseases that are transmitted by the bite of Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. These mosquitoes are most active in early morning and late afternoon. Activities that should be done to prevent dengue and Zika include: avoid having containers that can collect water in your yard. Cover water storage containers such as drums. Change the water in flower pots every 4 or 5 days. These are ideal breeding sites for the mosquito. With the elimination of breeding sites in and around the yard, dengue and Zika can be avoided. Dengue and Zika begin with sudden onset of high fever. Other signs and symptoms include rash, joint pain, eye pain. The public is also encouraged to use mosquito repellent spray or lotion on the body or clothing. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. A health and wellness message from your Ministry of Health.
This is the new era of the Mexican Caribbean. A whole spectrum of colors and hues, multi-dimensional cuisine, holographic beaches. The true new era is within you.
Don't miss the ultimate singing showdown. It's KTV The Remix, Season 7, every Tuesday night at 8, live from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. One stage, one voice, one chance to win $10,000. Get your tickets for just $5 at GBM Studios and Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. It's music, talent, and entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss it. KTV The Remix, Season 7. Tune in, turn up, and sing along every Tuesday night at 8. Only on Greater Believe Media.
Angela's press celebrating, please, 140 years. So come on, enjoy all the great deals. Back to school, the best quality for less. From June 16th to August 30th. Enjoy great deals you won't forget. So many years of serving the people of Belize. Yes, that's Angela's press. As we went back to school, from June 16th to August 30th. Back to school, win cash on every Tuesday. Back to 10% off on every Tuesday. So when them ask, just tell them that we're going back to school. Win an office makeover and 1,000 cash. Back to school, scratch and win. Everybody just come in. Went back to school. It's Angela's press anniversary. Everybody come, enjoy great deals. From June 16th to August 30th. Enjoy great deals. It's Angela's press 140th anniversary. Come out, come in and enjoy great deals. As we going back to school, from June 16th to August 30th. Back to school, come win cash every Tuesday. We back to school, 10% off on every Tuesday. So when them ask, just tell them that we're going back to school.
Veracidad, imparcialidad.
Este es el término utilizado.
Hemos estado haciendo el trabajo como organización.
Y tus noticias en español.
Están en aguas beliceñas, entonces esta bandera se queda aquí.
Sintoniza Canal 5 cada viernes a las 7 de la noche.
Tenemos que resolver los grandes problemas de este país.
Su voz importa, su acción cuenta.
Transfusión sanguínea, elementos que indican un deterioro evidente del estado de salud.
Somos Noticiero 5 semanal.
Perdió la vida en un heroico intento de proteger a su hermano. El Tribunal de Magistrados de la ciudad de Belice se paralizó. La policía está investigando 2 asesinatos separados.
Tu fuente de información.
On Monday night, we took you deep into the heart of San Pedro, Colombia, where subsistence farmers are facing a growing threat, an aggressive rodent infestation that's putting their crops and their livelihoods at risk. But as our team ventured further into the Deep South, we uncovered more than just a pest problem. What we found was a rich tapestry of tradition, age-old farming practices rooted in Maya culture, where every planting, every harvest is guided by ancestral wisdom. Tonight, in our latest installment of Culture Tuesday, News 5's Paul Lopez takes us beyond the fields and into the soul of southern Belize's farming heritage.
A rodent infestation is sweeping across small farms in the Toledo district, and it's not only threatening crops and livelihoods, it's shaking the very roots of a farming tradition passed down through generations of Maya families. And while stories of rats in the milpas have been whispered for years, farmers say this is different. This time it's not just folklore, it's real and it's right in front of them.
My ancestors from long time, my grandmother used to tell us the story. A lot of rats before, and till now I seen it, no?
So we hit the road and made our way to San Pedro, Colombia to see it all for ourselves. But what we found wasn't just farmers going about their daily grind. We stepped into a world where farming is more than just planting and harvesting. It's the way of life. It's a system deeply rooted in spiritual beliefs, a respectful partnership with nature, and a strong sense of community. Preparation for planting begins the day before. Raphael Chuck, an experienced farmer, acted as our cultural guide for the day.
Before the planting, of course, the owner, he will need to go out there and find workers, most of the time family members.
Before planting begins, there's a sacred commitment. The men chosen for the tasks take a vow of purity, abstaining from sexual activity the night before. It's a spiritual preparation rooted in deep respect for the land and the traditions that guide their way of life.
Of course, the planters must go with must make sure they are pure, and for them to be pure, we ask them not to sleep with their women the night before of the planting, and whoever cheats, we will know. I mean, you will see the results in the cornfield.
Before sunrise, the men set out on their journey to the farm through mountainous, densely forest terrain. The route kicks off with a steep 15-minute uphill climb that really puts your endurance to the test. And just when you think you've conquered it, the trail drops into an even steeper descent on the other side, challenging your footing and your focus every step of the way. The Maya people have for generations been making use of the plants this jungle provides.
Smell it. Ooh! So the
what does it smell like?
This is the cow foot leaf. So what we do, we put this in the lancha, the waha leaf, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people need to understand that we need to start to go green. We buy aluminum foil, we buy plastic wrapper. We have these growing in Belize. And up here, we call it green wrapper.
On the farm, the men wear a sling bag known as a kushtal across their shoulders that is filled with corn. They traverse the land together, poking holes in the ground and placing the seeds in an orderly fashion.
Of course, when everybody comes together and for him to give back that day, he will not pay him financially, but what he will do is give back that working day. So if he gets 5 people to plant, that means he owes 5 days work out there, 1 day per person. Yeah. And it could be not only planting, but maybe any other type of work that he has in the farm.
We enjoyed a refreshing bowl of a traditional corn-based beverage before the return trip. After a long day in the fields, these farmers don't just head home. They hoist their harvest on their backs and tackle that same steep incline all over again, this time weighed down by the fruits of their labor. It's a grueling climb that shows just how much heart and strength goes into every crop. Now, you imagine this climb with a sack of corn on your back, because that's what they have to do to transport the corn from this area out where they could sell it, eat it, and feed it to their animals. Ultimately, the struggle pales in comparison to the reward. It's customary for the farm owner to host a feast, a heartfelt thank you to the workers who've toiled alongside him. A freshly prepared bowl of chicken caldo is on the menu today.
So this is the reward of the planters. So what you have a hot dish of the local chicken caldo, and of course you get a cup. That's for the chocolate drink. We have a chocolate drink. So whoever wants chocolate drink, come this way. And then we also have the hot corn tortillas in here. Hot corn tortillas. And then we also have, of course, hot pepper. As you can see, first we feed the kids first, then the planters around the table, and after then, when the planters left the room, that is when the women will take over the table and they will be there. They will have their own feast, and whatever leftover foods they have, they will take it to the family.
The belief is that if they adhere to these Maya practices, then they will experience a favorable harvest.
So now what we're facing is these rats.
So we want to know if they are not following the traditional rules or the rats are just there.
In any event, the rodents must be eradicated in order for these cultural practices to thrive across seasons. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Belize just hit a major milestone in the fight against climate change. The Belize Maya Forest, one of the last intact tropical forests in northern Central America, has officially been validated under global carbon credits standards. That means the country can now trade nearly 30 million carbon credits, essentially turning forest conservation into a revenue stream. The government of Belize, the Belize Maya Forest Trust, and the Nature Conservancy are celebrating this as a win for the environment, the economy, and local communities. The forest is now permanently protected, and the first payout, roughly 1.5 million Belize dollars, is already on its way. But here's where the conservation conversation gets interesting. How will the long-term proceeds from these carbon credits be managed? Will the communities living near and depending on the forest see real, lasting benefits? And as Belize enters the global carbon market, how do we ensure transparency and equity in how these funds are used? This project is being hailed as a model for the region, but like any model, it's worth asking, who's at the center of success and who might be left out? When we return, AI or art? Costume controversy clouds Miss Universe Belize.
Stop wasting your time and money. Come to Publix, where every dollar counts. So why shop anywhere else? Find the freshest fruits and vegetables handpicked for your family. Need something quick and delicious? Our ready-made rotisserie chicken is hot and ready to go. And with Publix Rewards, you save big while shopping for everything you love and need. Publix, fresh, affordable, for you.
Serving Belizean families for 27 years.
Oh man, one more stroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
Open Your Eyes Country Tour is heading your way. On Monday, July 28th, join us live from El Gran Mestizo Resort in Orange Walk Town as we bring you energy, culture, and the community spirit of Sugar City. Meet local businesses, explore unique flavors, and celebrate the rich traditions that makes Orange Walk so vibrant. It's all happening on Open Your Eyes Country Tour. Tune in at 6:30 a.m. on GBM or stream live on our social media platforms. Come out and be a part of the excitement on Monday, July 28th at Orange Walk Town, powered by Digi, our national telecom.
RF&G encourages you to activate your emergency disaster plan to ensure safety and coverage for your vessel. We advise you to move your boat to higher grounds. If your vessel gets submerged, do not attempt to start after retrieval. Contact the claim department at 0800 RFG Help, or you can file a claim via WhatsApp at 670-8700. Then, immediately contact your marine mechanic to assess the damages sustained. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance.
unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Don't miss the ultimate singing showdown. It's KTV The Remix, Season 7, every Tuesday night at 8, live from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. One stage, one voice, one chance to win $10,000. Get your tickets for just $5 at GBM Studios and Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. It's music, talent, and entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss it. KTV The Remix, Season 7. Tune in, turn up, and sing along every Tuesday night at 8. Only on Greater Believe Media.
You pay the bill?
Ma, I got the wallet.
So you could pay the bill now?
Yeah, I can show you.
Ah.
See? Easy.
Is it creativity or just code? That's the question lighting up social media across the country after the Miss Universe Belize Committee unveiled the top 3 finalists in its national costume design competition. The theme centered around our vibrant national bird, the keelbill toucan. The designs are bold, intricate, and eye-catching. But some artists and Belizeans are questioning what they see, pointing out odd similarities and inconsistencies that suggest these costumes may not have been sketched by hand, but generated by artificial intelligence. So what really goes into creating a costume that represents Belize on the world stage? And does AI have a place in that process? News 5's Brittany Gordon takes a closer look at the controversy and the craftsmanship behind national pride.
The countdown is on. Just 5 months to go until Isabella Zabane, Miss Universe Belize 2025, steps onto the global stage to represent the jewel. She's got the poise, the presence, and the personality. But there's one piece of the puzzle still in progress: her national costume. Earlier this week, the Miss Universe Belize Committee revealed the top 3 finalists in the costume design competition. Belize's majestic toucan is this year's theme. But instead of applause, the designs have set off a heated online debate. Belizeans, especially local artists, are questioning whether these intricate creations were made by human hands or generated by artificial intelligence. Among the critics is Alex Sanker, a well-known artist who supported the pageant in the past with hand-painted pieces.
For me, it's obvious because I've been doing this for a long time, but I'm pretty sure, like I mentioned, I did a post this morning and I said AI should have no AI should not be presented in something like this. First of all, you have artists that could design these logos. We've been doing it for decades. Well, generally, I think I have a say into doing this because I took a burden on myself to paint the last 7 Miss Universe, which became something traditional. But when I saw the images, yes, it's pretty, but there's nothing there. It's like a kid 10 years old, I have the knowledge of AI, could create something like that.
The selected designs have all incorporated the national bird. Nonetheless, social media users were quick to point out the similarities in style and color scheme. Curious to see what AI could do, we decided to test it ourselves. We entered our own prompt into ChatGPT, and the results were strikingly similar to the designs online. To get a better sense of how these costumes came to life, we reached out to artist Monali Aspinall, one of the designers that submitted this year. She teamed up with visual artist Nisa Sanchez to co-design their submission and shared insight into their creative process, raising even more questions about where human creativity ends and machine-generated art begins.
My first thought was, I don't want to do regular toucan where there's like that beak on that head that gives like children's costume. We're so tired of seeing that. So I wanted something where you would be able to incorporate the toucan within the body. My next thing was, I didn't want to do like over the shoulder or something that's also like done so regularly. So I wanted it where Bella is so tall and slim, you know. I wanted to be able to use that to our advantage. So using her arms to create the beak and her body to simulate the body.
Other artists like Maureen Navarrete and Kashif King brought bold, creative flair to the competition. One with a toucan in flight and the other blending flowers and the national flag. But critics aren't impressed with the finalists. They've pointed out mismatched colors, awkward feather details, and even wrong species of toucan, fueling suspicion that AI, not artists, may be behind the designs.
I went on the web on Miss Universe and I saw they're getting the most votes. But then I don't want to hear, oh, well, they could adjust it. No, that was something I was selected to be the top 3. And it's not even our toucan. It's not our national bird. It's a toucan, yes. But the keel bill, that's not what it is. And that's the one that's getting the most vote. Because, again, people do things without considering the value of what they're presenting to the world.
The popularity of these pieces highlights the subjectivity of art. Whether the sketch is created by a human or not, some people will still gravitate towards the design's overall aesthetic. But there is more to a costume design than just its looks. An artist must consider the practicality of the costume and how it can be executed off the page.
I know that people love a like huge costume, and I love the idea of that as well. And I think that sometimes that large costume, we don't want it to overpower the toucan. I mean, that's the theme that they're going for. So we had to think about small things, like if we use the arms for beak, that means that certain parts of the body will have to be softer or easily moved. So we thought about like gymnastic costumes where there's that beading and bedazzlement in certain areas, but then there's still that flesh tone fabric under the arms that allows them to move but gives them that continuity down the arms, down the legs.
Artist Alex Sanker is speaking out against what he sees as a troubling trend. AI-generated art taking the spotlight from real human creativity. He hopes that by continuing his work and advocacy, young artists will not become demotivated to pursue their passions in art.
And you know, I have a lot of parents, this is the new thing now where parents would bring their kids that are artists and they're just blown by your work. And I tell them one thing, them and their parents, don't do this for the money. Don't do it for the fame. Do it because you love it. If you do it because you love it, everything gonna fall into place. Listen, we have top of the line, international type level of talent here, right?
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
The spotlight remains firmly on the designs, but not just for their bold colors or toucan-inspired flair. The real debate is whether artificial intelligence has a place in creating a costume meant to represent Belize on the world stage. As the public casts their votes to decide which design will come to life, questions are swirling. What are the rules for submissions? And is AI a fair reflection of Belizean artistry? To get some answers, we spoke with Miss Universe Belize director Destiny Arnold. She says the committee is open to criticism, but sees AI as just another tool in the creative process. Here's more on that conversation.
Artificial intelligence is a tool that, multiple people from multiple industries can utilize for whatever purpose they deem fit. In this case, there were some designers or creatives that utilize this tool to bring their vision to life. We did not anticipate a uproar from the public in response to someone utilizing that tool, nor were we looking out to distinguish hand-drawn designs versus artificial intelligence. We do recognize that we are in a modern age of technology. There are different ways in which you can present whatever your vision is, and we appreciate people being resourceful, and we also appreciate those who take their pen to paper and draw out the designs. The focus is making sure that we include the public in the national costume design, because this is a costume that represents our culture. And we want to make sure that we are maintaining the focus on that goal. We don't want to feed into any type of negativity. We want to continue to celebrate the fact that Bella is making waves right now in the pageant industry. She's receiving a lot of positive international attention, and we want to make sure that we maintain that celebration, and just recognizing that we can't run away from artificial intelligence. We can't run away from the evolution of technology. We can embrace it and just make sure that we are properly utilizing these tools that are now at our disposal.
Arnold also assures that the team will work with a Belizean designer to ensure that the costume is accurate to Belizean culture and can be worn comfortably on stage. Up next, dengue cases surge amid rainy season. KHMH urges swift action.
This is where blue innovation meets green ambition and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Carib in San Pedro. This is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, bridging markets, building resilience. September 3rd to 5th, Sunset Carib, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data, so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today, because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
miss the ultimate singing showdown. It's KTV The Remix, Season 7, every Tuesday night at 8, live from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. One stage, one voice, one chance to win $10,000. Get your tickets for just $5 at GBM Studios and Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. It's music, talent, and entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss it. KTV The Remix, Season 7. Tune in, turn up, and sing along every Tuesday night at 8. Only on Greater Believe Media.
Hi there. Are you on your phone right now, scrolling on social media, listening to the radio, or watching TV? Have you ever stopped to think, what's powering my device right now? You see, electricity is essential for everyday life, powering our homes, businesses, transportation, and of course, that one binge-worthy series that you just can't stop watching. But how does it all work? This season on the What's and Why's of Energy, we're taking you behind the scenes, bringing you the latest updates and answers to your biggest energy questions. My name is Emmanuel Petch, and I invite you to join us as we go live on Facebook and get ready to see energy in a whole new light. Like, share, and follow us to be part of the conversation.
Belize Electricity Limited, providing you safe and reliable power when you need it.
There's some good news on the public health front tonight. Belize's recent measles outbreak has officially been contained. That's the word from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, which says it's been 2 full incubation cycles without a single new case. The outbreak, which started back in April, was traced to unvaccinated travelers returning from Mexico. It quickly spread through the Corozal and Cayo districts, infecting 34 people and sending 1 to the hospital. Thankfully, everyone has recovered. So how did health officials manage to stop the spread? We spoke with Dr. Laura Friesen from the Ministry of Health to find out what worked.
And this, of course, was due to the efforts of public health and also all the healthcare workers on the ground and also the communities that were affected. So it included a lot of different aspects. There was a communication component, just educating the public, letting people know what's happening, what they should do to protect themselves, what they should do to if they get ill. And also vaccination campaigns were a big part of the strategy, because the best way to prevent measles is to get vaccinated. The vaccine is very safe, very effective. So that was a very, very large part of our strategy as well. So it was mostly vaccination and communication. And then we had our surveillance teams on the ground as well, where we monitored and reviewed cases of fever and rash to make sure if it was a measles case and how we should be managing them if they were confirmed as measles cases. So it was a multi-dimensional strategy. So the most important advice right now is to get vaccinated. If you are not vaccinated, make sure that your children, especially those the age of 1 and 1.5, get their scheduled measles vaccines. And also, if you are intending to travel to any country, well, in the Americas, every country is right now somewhat at risk. But if you're planning to leave Belize, it is the best that you get your vaccine 2 weeks ahead of time if you have never been vaccinated for measles, which will then give you that protection should you go into a situation where you get exposure that you don't get sick and bring that back into the country. So that is what we are strongly recommending. Vaccination is the safest and the most effective way to prevent outbreaks in Belize right now.
There's growing concern tonight as dengue fever cases continue to climb. And the country's main referral hospital is urging everyone to take action now. The Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital says its emergency unit has seen a sharp rise in dengue cases over the past few months. It's a trend that usually comes with the rainy season, but this year's spike has health officials on high alert. Don't wait. If you're feeling feverish or showing dengue-like symptoms, head to your nearest clinic right away. And just as the country breathes a sigh of relief with the measles outbreak now under control, we also checked in with Dr. Laura Friesen from the Ministry of Health for an update on how they're tackling this latest health threat.
Is there any other outbreaks in the region that we are monitoring closely, just advising people to be on the lookout for, or is it just the measles that we are looking at closely?
Well, we always have different diseases that are happening. Currently, we have again an outbreak of whooping cough in the region, and we also have some increase of dengue, which is a seasonal issue as well. But those are things that are being monitored as well. And as always, we encourage everyone to be safe, to get their vaccines where possible, and so that they can stay healthy as possible. So we are really encouraging families to take it seriously and protect their children from any risk of these consequences for their children.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. Don't forget to tune in tonight at 8 p.m. for KTV The Remix, where contestants hit the stage to perform hits in the genre of alternative rock. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.